Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the New Muslim Workshop. My name is Mahmoud, and today we're going to talk about the 6 different kinds of applications you should have on your smartphone if you are Muslim. Stick around.
Welcome to the New Muslim Workshop.
Welcome back. So we're going to talk about the different categories of applications that you should have on your smartphone as a Muslim. So first we're going to list the different kinds of applications, and then we're going to talk about the different applications I personally use, and maybe then in the comments you can leave what applications you find most comfortable or you find helpful, inshallah. So the different categories are: number 1, Quran applications; number 2, Hadith applications; number 3, Salah applications; number 4, Fatwah applications; number 5, Masjid Finder applications; and number 6, Supplication applications or Dua apps. So for Quran applications, I usually use 2 different kinds. I use one called iQuran. The iQuran application was the first application I ever purchased. And the reason why I purchased it is because it had a number of features that I found very helpful. Number 1, I could bookmark my place in the Quran, and I could add several different bookmarks so that if maybe I'm reading Al-Kahf during Jum'ah, and the Khatib goes up to speak and I don't have the time to finish, I can add a bookmark, and then later on in the day, right before Maghrib, I would be able to finish the rest of it. That bookmark would bookmark my place in the Quran. The second thing that I found very helpful is the fact that it has multiple translations, I believe in several different languages. And that is very helpful because, sometimes, even though I'm fluent in Arabic, sometimes some words kind of, Quranic Arabic is classical Arabic, and the context escapes me. I can't figure out what it is. And when I turn on the translation, I find that it's actually quite helpful. Another feature in that application that I, at the time, found very, very appealing is the ability to play the Quran of what I'm reading. So you can download a number of reciters, the voices of a number of reciters, and you can play them. Now what that does is it will allow you to listen to proper pronunciation of certain words that you might sort of be stumped by. And the other thing is that this will help you in the tajweed. Personally, I find that Husari is the king of the Mujawideen, and so whenever I want to learn a surah or memorize it with proper tajweed, I go to Al-Husari and find that he is very, very adept and very, very capable, probably the golden standard of tajweed. Rahmatullahi alayh. The other thing is that the iQuran application allows you to tilt the reading and increase the size of the font. Now for me, obviously I wear glasses. That's very helpful because I find very small font very difficult to read. So this application has the ability to increase the size of the font and also allows you to switch the orientation of the page to horizontal so that you can read it. You probably can have more text on the page, or at least read it a bit more comfortably. The second Quran application that I find helpful, that I use on a daily basis, is Ayah. The Ayah Quran application is free and is available both on iOS and on Android. You can download it for free. The iQuran is also available on Android and iOS. However, some of its features are locked, so you might have to purchase the full version so that you can have some of the features unlocked. So the good thing about the Ayah application that I find very helpful is that it correlates to the Uthmani Mus'haf. And what that means is that when you have, or when you hold one of the Masahif, which is a printed version of the Quran, when you grab one of those in Arabic, you will find that there is a standard kind of printed Quran called the Uthmani Quran. And so certain surah, certain chapters of the Quran are related to certain pages in the Quran. So we're going to use Surah Al-Kahf as well. It's on page 293. And so on the application Ayah, what they do is they give you the page. So to me, that's brilliant because I can follow through. So I can read a Quran that is printed, look and basically figure out what page it is. And then I can open my Ayah application on my phone, scroll over to that specific page, to that specific verse, and bookmark it. And that's great because it means it's very easy for me to get back to what I was reading, and it allows me to continue my recitation and my reading of the Quran without interruption and losing my place, which is very, very frustrating, especially if you are going for something like a khatma. A khatma, incidentally, is a complete reading of the Quran from Al-Fatiha all the way to An-Nas. The other thing that I find very beneficial, for me at least, when it comes to the Ayah application, is that you can switch it between light mode and dark mode. Personally, I find that the dark mode is very easy on my eyes, and so when reading it, it allows me to read it for longer periods of time without straining my eyes. And so I find that very beneficial and convenient. The other thing that this specific application has is also the ability to switch it to a horizontal orientation, which automatically increases the size of the font. And again, for someone who wears glasses, that's very, very helpful because it makes reading the verses very, very easy. This application also has tafsir, and it also has the ability to play audio. However, I find that the iQuran application is a bit more intuitive when it comes to playing the audio. Sometimes the Ayah application gets stuck and it's very difficult to switch it off. It's not very intuitive. However, every other feature in that application is intuitive, and I enjoy it greatly. The second category is applications for Hadith. Now, I've been using one mainly, and this one application is called Hadith Collection. This Hadith Collection application is a Sadaqah Jariyah by a development house, and they provide it for free. It includes a collection of all the books of Hadith that are Sahih, that relate to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and does not recognize the books of Hadith from deviant sects or sects that are not related to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So I find that very convenient because the Hadith Collection application provides you with both the English text as well as the Arabic text, and you can copy and you can share it on social media, you can share it on WhatsApp or any of the applications that you can email it to people. And they will give you the source of this hadith, and they'll tell you if it's sahih or da'if or mutawatir or whatever, the different gradings of the hadith itself. So it's a good thing to familiarize yourself with the different gradings, so that, and I believe that the application itself kind of explains what these different gradings mean, so that when you are reading a hadith, you know that either it's considered weak hadith, or if it is a mutawatir, meaning it's a very strong hadith. It's a hadith that many people were present when the Prophet, peace be upon him, conveyed it to people. So the one that I found very helpful is called Hadith Collection. I did, however, while researching this specific video, find one called Hadith Companion, and it's specifically for Android. I don't believe it exists for iOS. However, I did find for iOS there are other hadith libraries that you can download and you can search. And having a search feature is very, very important, because sometimes all you can remember from a hadith is like maybe a line, don't waste water, or maybe a key word. The next category of app is the Salah app. And this has to do with Salah notifications. The one that I use and I've been using for the past 8 to 9 years is an application called Salatuk. And Salatuk in Arabic means your prayer. So that application is very, very helpful. I have It's very versatile. It's something that it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of many, many different features. So it gives you the direction of the Qibla. It calculates in many different ways the Salat timings and the Salat calculations. It allows you to put a widget on one of the front pages if you have Android, and what that does is basically gives you an indication, a countdown of when the next Salah is. And that's very, very helpful for me to know that maybe there's an hour, 30 minutes to the next Salah. The other thing is that it gives you the Hijri date, which is also very helpful to know the Hijri date so that you can figure out when the next possibly Al-Ayyam al-Bid, the white days, are the 13, 14, and 15 for fasting, etc. So it's a very helpful application. I've been able to use it for years and years and with very little problems. I believe for iOS it's a paid application, so unfortunately that's something that I wasn't aware of. However, when I did research for this video, I did find out that it was a paid application, at least on the iPad. I don't have an iPhone, so you will need to do research and figure out if Salatuk is available for the iPhone for free. However, even if it is for money, I highly recommend that you pay whatever amount it is, because it really is worth it. The fourth category of app is the Fatwah app. And for ifta or for questions related to Islam, I usually go to IslamQA.com. Now, I was extremely happy to find that IslamQA had an app, and this app has several features. These features are very robust. The ability to basically work offline, which is great, means that you have downloaded a database of fatwas on your phone, and you are able to search them up to a certain degree. Now, whenever they updated, you get updated whenever you are connected, which is great. The other thing is that they are available, the fatwas are available in a number of different languages. I believe somewhere in the vicinity of 10 languages, which is very convenient, obviously, because all these different people from all over the world are able to search fatwas easily and with keywords. So the IslamQA app was developed by Z Group, and Z Group is an organization that was founded by a Sheikh al-Munajjid, may Allah set him free. Category number 5 is Masjid Finders. And where I live, not here, not in Jordan, but where I reside, I use a different kind of application called GoPray. And GoPray, unfortunately, doesn't work anywhere outside of where I live. If I wanted to use an application that works throughout the world, I found one called Masjid Finder. Now, Masjid Finder is very simple. It's a bit, I guess, rudimentary. The GUI, or the graphic user interface, isn't that nice. However, it still does the job. So as long as you can find a masjid close by, I don't see what the problem is. It's a helpful application, and if they can add more features to it, like the times of prayer, then that application should be sufficient for you to be able to find the nearest mosque, especially in non-Muslim countries. Because in Muslim countries, you can be walking down the street and the adhan goes off, and immediately you know that the masjid is down the street or to your right or whatever. However, when you are, in North America, Europe, Canada, whatever, you might want to pray in the masjid, and if there is a local version of a Masjid Finder that is available on the App Store or on the Play Store, then you should look for one. If you have, or if you know of a good Masjid Finder application, please make the suggestion down in the comments below. Finally, number 6 is the Dua application. What I use for the supplication application, okay, I didn't mean that, but what I use for the supplication app is, or Dua related app, is Hisnul Muslim. So Hisnul Muslim is a collection of dua broken down to different categories that is available as a booklet and has been available for decades. There are thousands of different applications that take the sort of core database of dua and this sort of collection of dua and broken down to different categories, and they've included it in the application. So depending on what you find, how good the graphic user interface is, I suggest you go and you look for specifically Hisnul Muslim. Now I'll place on the screen the icon for the app that I found. It has a very clean interface. If you can find one that contains the English, the Arabic, and the transliteration, which is basically like writing down, let's say Allahu Akbar, but you're writing it in Latin letters, so ALLUHA AKUBR, or Akbar AR. So a transliteration of it would be great for non-Arabic speakers. So if you can find an application that contains that as well, that's great. If you are bilingual and you speak English and Arabic, then obviously you just need to find one that includes both the English and the Arabic. So that concludes the 6 categories of applications that every Muslim should have on their smartphone. If you have a different application or a category that I might have missed, please consider putting it in a comment below. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing and please consider hitting the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.